Welcome back to the Double Your Profit series. Today, we're talking about creating a culture of accountability. Accountability to me and to our team just means doing what we say we're going to do. So we set these clear expectations, we set these clear guidelines, and accountability is the back half. Okay, once you set them, well, what do you do if you miss? And how do we make sure we're on track? So that's accountability. The sentence that you can walk away from this video with is what gets measured gets done. One of the core lessons that I took from the book Traction is every single role should have a number. So if we're setting these clear standards and guidelines for someone, then you need to be able to tell when someone's doing an amazing job. And the only way you can do that is if it is measurable. So how do you assign a number per position? Now that number could be number of calls taken in the call center or number of jobs dispatched. It can be number of jobs staged in warehouse. It can be number of jobs sold as a field pro or a salesperson. Once you've been able to assign a number or a KPI to every single position in your company, the next step is scorecarding it. Scorecarding might sound a little intimidating, but it's really, we've assigned this number or these 2 or 3 numbers to this position. Now, how do we track it? What I love about this is it forces you to actually set good KPIs. We want every single KPI to be so easy to measure and information be so easy to access that everyone should know if they're doing a great job in less than 10 seconds. If it's not easy to figure out, no one's going to look. Once you set those scorecards, you can't just stop there. You have to now go into checking in on those scorecards. We're going to do weekly reviews of scorecards. We're going to go over your team's numbers. We're going to go over their average ticket, total performance, number of jobs, closing rate, and a couple others, but those are the big ones. If someone's struggling on that team, we're going to spend some time trying to figure out how can we help them. Now, some rules when starting to drive accountability into your business. You want to be direct, but you want to be respectful. The benefit of having a scorecard is it is a fairly emotionless process. So if I have a team that's underperforming or there's a few people that are underperforming, what I'm focused on is, hey, what are you doing about it? You see the numbers, I see the numbers. What are we doing? How's our coaching cadence? Are we talking to them throughout the day, sort of helping to coach? Have you done a one-on-one yet? Have you done a ride-along yet? What steps have you taken so that we can orient around solutions? And then if we're a little bit struggling on, hey, I've already done these 5 steps, that's where I get to help coach a little bit. And well, let's try this and see what happens. The final thing to do with scorecards and driving this accountability culture is developing an ownership mindset. And the way that you do that is after you develop the accountabilities, you set the expectations, you set the scorecard, you set the cadence of how often you're going to talk about it. You have the team members that are responsible for their numbers present their numbers. They're going to present it in that meeting. They're going to talk about the dubs. They're going to talk about the L's, but they own the fact that it's there. And then they're going to start diving deeper into what can they do or what should they have already done before you need to sort of push them into it. That's where we're at with most of our teams, where by the time we sit down for our scorecard review, the frontline leaders that I'm sitting down with already have a plan like, hey, yep, I know he's off. I see it too. They own the fact that it's off, and they also own the solution, which is driving accountability into your culture. I would love to know how you're using scorecards to help drive accountability and growth into your business. Drop it in the comments below.